there, folks. This is Richard of DoomedMovieThon.com. I'm back with another episode of My Horror Shelfie. My Horror Shelfie is a series where I talk about every single horror movie on my horror movie shelves from A to Z, including the ones in the letters F and R. Thank you for watching. Let's get back into giallo, because apparently giallo is the only type of cinema that I talk about anymore. Ooh, giallo. Last time I talked about Puzzle. Puzzle was the last one in part 3. So because I'm good at alphabetizing, here is the Possessed, which P-O comes after P-U, am I right? Woo, that stinks. Sadly, I've only seen The Possessed one time, and I really was quite taken with it. And my pal Scott at EuroCultAV.com very kindly sent me a copy of The Possessed. And I fully intend to rewatch it. It's a black and white, noirish, surreal giallo. Very low-key, but beautiful movie. Okay, for many, many years, I told people that this is my favorite giallo of all time. That's right, it's 7 Bloodstained Orchids. I love this Umberto Lenzi jam. When I want to show people who have never seen a giallo before something crazy, I show them The Case of the Bloody Iris. But if I want to show them something that feels like a tried and true great giallo, then I show them 7 Bloodstained Orchids. This is not my favorite giallo of all time right now. It's my second favorite. My first favorite being The Dead or Alive from Armando Crispino, because I'm deranged. Yes, 7 deaths in a monkey's eye. 7 deaths in the cat's eye. This is from good old Antonio. It says Anthony M. Dawson on the back, but we know it's Antonio Margheriti. This one is a little offbeat, to say the least, but it is really, really pretty, and it's silly in an enjoyable way. I recommend 7 Deaths in the Cat's Eye. It's good stuff. Here's your Dirty Harry giallo. Like, were you thinking, man, I wish that that 44 Magnum slinging cool dude would make a giallo. Well, actually, there's probably a Dirty Harry movie that feels like a giallo, but more importantly, Italy came to the call. They rose to the challenge and made Shadows in an Empty Room. I am a fan of this one. It's a bit of a guilty pleasure. I know people love that phrase, guilty pleasure, guilty pleasure. They also like phrases like underrated. No, Shadows in an Empty Room is just rated, but it does make me feel kind of naughty when I watch it, because it's very special. The latter half of the Argento career. Here we go. Good old, I think it's 2001? Maybe? 2001's Sleepless Man. This is good stuff. Just in case you thought Argento would never recover from the magnificent success of Phantom of the Opera, he came out swinging with Sleepless. I freaking love this movie. I really love the dubbing. I know that some folks hate the dubbing on this one, but I'm also a big fan of English dubbing, even if they're kind of cruddy. Max von Sydow and a parrot? Come on. So Sweet, So Dead. Worst thing I can say about So Sweet, So Dead is that it's a bit humorless. It takes itself very seriously, and I think that's the only thing that kind of makes it like stay out of favorite territory. You got a lot of really sexy ladies in it. They're not treated so good. Oh wait, that's the whole giallo genre. So Sweet, So Dead. It's solid, but like I said, it's missing something. But you got Farley Granger, and you can't go wrong with Farley Granger. He's great. What do you mean there's a movie called Spasmo? And what do you mean I named my cat after it? Look at this hideous cover art. Oh man, good old Shriek Show. Apparently they didn't like the poster for Spasmo, which is a great poster, and instead they had a sexy lady with a gun standing next to a sexy mannequin. That mannequin's kind of hot, actually. That's weird. I think this girl's mad because the mannequin's showing her up. This is a very unusual film from our pal Umberto Lenzi. It's very strange and obtuse on purpose. He claims it's very original, which, hey, why not? But it also just feels like the script wasn't completely there, or they were reaching for something and kind of missed it. Either way, this movie's great. It's got good old Ivan Razumov in it. He's always a treat. Speaking of Argento being creepy, we got the Stendall Syndrome. I think this is one of Argento's finest. It's creepy because, of course, it's got his daughter, Asia, in it, and for some reason, whenever he films his daughter in a movie, she's naked. I just hope that it's always like his assistant director. like they have a special nude Asia crew and Argento's not there when they make those scenes. But hey, who am I to judge? I don't have children. Did I mention how much I love the Stendall Syndrome? Yeah, it's good. The Strange Vice of Mrs. Ward H. Good old Sergio Martino with the power couple of Edwidge Fenech and George Hilton. This is a fine, fine giallo. This is another great one to show people who have never seen a giallo. It's got the psychosexual stuff. In fact, I think it's more psychosexual than it is, slasher giallo stuff. But it's just excellent, excellent movie. And gets better with multiple viewings. And movie. Woo! Strip Dude or Your Kisser. This is a movie featuring Edwidge Fenech back again with one of the really unlikable heroes. I'll put heroes in quote. His name's Carlo, and he's played by Nino Castelnuovo. Take what? Carlo is a real bastard in this movie, and yeah, and Nino Castelnuovo is really good at playing bastards. More importantly, though, man, Femi Benusi is in this for a short part, but she's very memorable. I really love Femi Benusi. And yes, this is one of the sleaziest movies in my collection, and I will not defend it. I will just say, good for me for having the bravery to appear on camera with it. Teenerb. This is Dario Fulci, son of the great Mario Lenzi, making a movie. For some reason, this little flap is open. I can close that for you. But yeah, Tenebrae is a fantastic movie. Everyone's like, Dr. Argento, please finish your third mother's trilogy, bro. Don't leave us hanging on the witches. And he said, no problem. I'll make this giallo that has no supernatural elements in it whatsoever. I love Tenebrae. It is one of his best. Argento firing on all cylinders. Has jaw-dropping moments in it. And yeah, another perfect example of the giallo for people who've never seen a giallo. Torso, or the middle portion of your movie collection or your body. Torso is wonderful. It is also known as, what's the English title? The Body Bears Evidence of Carnal Violence. This is a movie that I took a long break from. I kind of don't like Susie Kendall, or I used to not like Susie Kendall, but I'm really coming around to her. I don't know why I didn't like her as much as some of the other giallo ladies, but I'm back on the Torso train. If there ever was one pulling out of the station, be sure to get on it with me. Man, Argento is hogging this frickin' video. We got one of my favorites, Trauma, my second Argento ever. Of course, the first Argento I ever saw was Phenomena, and in the early 90s, this hit the new release shelf at my local Blockbuster, and at that point I was vaguely familiar with who Dario Argento was, and this one just blew my mind as a kid, because it's so weird, and it's like genuinely odd for his filmography. I couldn't remember the word filmography. I'm in trouble. Yeah, I feel like the criticism this gets, that it's like a greatest hits of his stuff, that it rips off all of his other films. I don't see it. I mean, sure, it's got some stuff that he references that could remind you of Deep Red and other things like that. But I don't know. I just am really, really over the moon with Trauma, and I think I always will be now that I'm old. Did someone say American Giallo? No one said American Giallo. Don't do that. They said never say that Americans or other countries other than Italy can make giallo, people. And I agree with them, except here's one. Violent Midnight is very good, highly recommended. It's just a nice little black and white thriller. And the killer has got like the giallo getup going strong. And it's just a really fun movie. I like Del Tenney. He's got some good stuff. Ooh, look at that. I love these shameless yellow giallo cases. I wish all companies would adopt the yellow cases for their giallo. This one rattles a lot. This is Watch Me When I Kill, or I made a fake version of this poster called Watch Me When I Open Mouth Kiss. I'll have to post that in this video so you guys can be so you guys can be horrified by the shit I made. Watch Me When I Kill is this Antonio Beto? Who directed? Yes, I got it right the first time. Good old Antonio Beto. I like this one. It's not my favorite, but it's super good. I really got tired of the old gray market public domain crappy copy that I had. When good old Shameless put this out on a nice restored DVD, I had to have it because, of course, international DVD players are your friend. Speaking of sleazy, what have they done to your daughters? Good old Antonio Beto, after doing What Have You Done to Solange, made another movie called What Have They Done to Your Daughters? I think I like Solange better, but this one is also good. It ups the sleazy factor, which, who wanted that? I didn't want that. But no, it's a solid movie. It's got some excellent set pieces. It's got that actor in it. Who's that actor in this? Claudio Casanelli. One of those, like, kind of, dare I say, underrated giallo actors. Claudio Casanelli. He's cool. He's always very cool. Speaking of this guy, speaking of the same director, here is the infamous, aforementioned in this video, What Have You Done to Solange? Trashy stuff, but a really, really solid giallo. I love this. Good old Fabio Testi's in it. Highly recommend it if you haven't seen this. Just remember, it's a lot of trashy, sleazy goodness. Who saw her diet? And I hope she didn't lose too much weight. This is from our pal Aldo Lado. This is from Aldo Lado. I really like him and his stuff. Who Saw Her Die is super solid. Got George Lazenby slumming after the Bond movie, which is famously his manager told him to turn down the next Bond movie or else he would get typecast as James Bond, and he ended up immediately regretting it. My theory is that he just wasn't asked back, but I'm still going to side with George Lazenby because he's always going to be my favorite Bond because he's not Sean Connery. Great score from Ennio Morricone and like beautiful Venice. So much Venice. Did you know Venice is sinking? It's also getting taller. Whew, okay, last movie in this video, oh my gosh. I'm not done with this, but this is the last of this video. This is Your Vice is a Locked Room and Only I Have the Key. Another wonderful Sergio Martino joint. Man, Sergio Martino, you gotta look at his film career. If you've only seen his giallo films, I urge you to look at his action movies and his horror movies, his hybrid, weird, I don't know what genre this is movies. I will show you one of his movies you need to see. I've probably talked about it on this channel, but I want to say more about it. Anyway, this for a while was my favorite Martino giallo. I love this. You know, Edwidge Fenech again. Anita Strindberg is in this. Luigi Pistilli is in this. Gorgeous stuff. Really beautiful. Some harrowing frickin' set pieces in this. They are mean to a cat in this, but the violent stuff is staged. A very fake cat, thank goodness. But the cat in this movie doesn't look too happy, so proceed with caution. Okay, I probably really did mention this in another video, but American Rickshaw is the Sergio Martino movie. If you haven't seen it, please, by all means, check out the Cauldron Blu-ray of it, American Rickshaw. I guarantee you've never seen a movie quite like this before. It's wonderful. Oh man, okay, so that is all the single movies, all the movies that are like just hanging out with themselves, but I cannot finish the Giallo series without doing all the box sets because we've been blessed with several Giallo-centric box sets over the years. So part 5 of my Giallo collection will be the final in this series of my Giallo collection. I can go back to whatever letter I was in. Thanks for watching. As always, this has been a commercial for Giallo Meltdown, a Moviethon diary available at Amazon.com, where I talk about watching almost all of these movies in length in my weekend-long movie-thons. And check out my name, Richard Glenn Schmidt. I got some other stuff that I wrote on Amazon. Please. Thank you for watching, guys. Take care. DoomedMovieThon@gmail.com if you want to argue with me about whether or not Dario Argento is Mario Bava's son or not.